Meet Dave of Delusions of Grandeur, actor, producer, and director of films like Tales of the Forgotten. He has come to assemble a team of freaks, geeks, and even worse, film nerds, to discuss films ranging from mainstream to downright crazy. There is Tammy car enthusiast and Dave's fiance, Dustin reptile expert and overall horror collector, Jake environmentalist and fine art film critic, and finally Brandon, a therapist with a love of film that can only be seen as insanity. Together under Dave's leadership, they are inside movies galore. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting film journey here on Delusions of Grandeur. I am one of your hosts, but today we are going to be going on about a film that our good friend Boris here has put forward for our lovely minds to discuss. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the film that you subjected us to?
It's the movie Muse from 2017.
Which don't be confused with some other titles under the same name in the same year either. Because there is one that I found that's the same year, directed by John Bush, I believe. In 2017, which has nothing to do with as deep a subject matter as this one does.
Oh. Yeah, this one was directed. Geez, I don't even know how to pronounce this.
I would say Jaume Balagueró.
Yeah. I just looked him up. It says he is Spanish, so it would be Jaume Balagueró.
Makes sense because it's a Spanish film.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Written by Jose Carlos Somoza, Jaume Balagueró, and Fernando Navarro.
Yep.
Starring...
The novel was written in Spanish. The title translates to The Lady Number 13, which this is based on.
So in that novel there are apparently even 13 muses.
I guess. I don't know.
And starring Elliot Cohen, Franca Potente, and Ana Ularu. And the synopsis says, a grieving English literature professor who is suffering from a horrible recurring nightmare will soon find himself immersed in a macabre world of myth and superstition, governed by a coven of 7 malevolent women.
Great Scott! Oops, wrong movie.
I'm sorry, which one is
I
that?
said, well, don't you know? One of the character actors that showed up in here was Christopher Lloyd, who played in "I'm Sending You Back to the Future."
Yeah, true.
But no, definitely wrong movie. We are not discussing Back to the Future.
Indeed.
Definitely a totally different movie. So back over to you.
Yeah, so is this the first time you watched this movie and what were your first impressions?
First time I've
Oh,
watched this movie because it was definitely hard to find to even watch. So, um,
oh,
but thank you for providing me with a copy to watch.
oh, you're more than welcome.
Uh,
Yeah, actually, it was a little harder to find than usual movies.
but we found one. And it was entirely in English, so that's at least a good thing.
Oh, yes.
Even though it was a Spanish movie.
Yeah,
Set in
now I
Ireland.
want.
Oh, but it's set in Ireland?
Yes.
Huh, interesting.
Okay. And yet it looks like it was partially filmed in Canada as well. Because you had the Quebec uh, credit uh, logo in the front of the movie, I think.
Okay.
But there was definitely a location set in Ireland that Tammy was looking up. The insane asylum that they end up in later is actually
But
what did you call?
that countryside is Irish or from Ireland. When they're on the road and everything, that's Ireland. That house where Christopher Lloyd is, that's Ireland.
Okay.
That is not Canadian.
Okay.
You can
Whew.
just tell by the way the house looks and the way it's made. That's not from Canada.
Ooh.
But anyways, go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, so what were your first impressions?
Go ahead, Tammy. What was your first impression of this movie?
I found it very interesting, and you know, I like folklore type of stuff. Of course, 'cause I like all my Dracula and vampire stuff, so I've seen and read a lot of that as far as the folklore. I've read a lot of older books and everything as far as that goes. So I like stuff like this. So I found it very interesting.
Okay.
Ooh,
What
glad to
about you?
hear that.
What about you, Boris?
Actually, it was the first time I watched this movie as well. Can you maybe guess what it was that got me interested in this one?
The Lady in Black?
Pretty much, yeah. I was recently telling someone about how I like the motive of a black whale. She suggested, the person I was talking to suggested me to watch this movie.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I picked it for this discussion. I did like it quite a bit. It was a little more convoluted and a little more difficult to follow than I expected, but it was still interesting enough. And maybe I, to some extent, wish the ending was different, but then again, there was enough of an open ending to speculate what could have possibly happened later. So it's not really, the ending is not really that bad after all.
Nope.
but since
Because you'd rather have every single thing end on a happy note.
uh, uh, in many cases, kind of, yeah.
You'd rather
In
have everything tied together with neat little ribbons and bows.
uh, kind of. Well, okay, in a movie like this one, maybe, or generally in horror movies, an ending I wouldn't mind would be, let's say, if Rachel had stayed alive at the end, but then if the very last sequence revealed that the evil muses weren't really destroyed after all, and if that was setting things up for a possible sequel, but yeah,
So
that's
either
probably.
completely, it has to be a happy ending, or it has to be a completely evil ending.
Well, I don't know if I would call it completely evil. It would be more like an open ending if it turned out that they were still not destroyed and that the story might continue.
Ah,
But this way, yeah, it's maybe not quite the way I would prefer it, but not too disappointing either. Like I said, it still leaves enough room for speculations and possible what ifs, like that little statue that they kept at the end. What could happen as a result of it later?
okay.
So.
Well, and as far as me, this was my first time watching it. I do like anything that involves Dante Alighieri's poetic poetry. Into the purgatory, paradise, and hell, which it does touch on in the very beginning. Um, and But it does specifically deal with muses and some of the things that they do and whatnot. But more, it's more of a mystery type thing that's going on here. So, um, you know, let's see. Now, normally we start with before our first impressions, like a synopsis of it. So, um, I'll just read from Wikipedia here instead of IMDb. Samuel Solomon, a literary professor, experiences a reoccurring nightmare ever since the death of his girlfriend, in which a woman is brutally murdered. When the same woman in his dreams is found dead in reality, Solomon seeks an explanation. Rachel, a woman who claims to have also dreamed of the murder, helps Solomon in discovering the identity of the mysterious woman. So, at the end of the day, I do like it. I did enjoy it. Wouldn't mind seeing if I could find it on DVD. Um, just to have within the collection. I th- I did recognize a few people, like I recognized Christopher Lloyd. Um, I mean, it's definitely a more serious role than I'm used to seeing him in. I mean, normally I'm used to seeing him slide from a clock to make sure Marty McFly gets back to his time period, but um, I also recognize the woman who played Rachel. I not too long ago watched a series called Emerald City, which was a 10 episode thing about a distorted version of like Oz. So She played one of the Wicked Witches in the show. So I thought seeing her again, especially since that show happened in the same year that this happened, it was interesting seeing her again. So in a different role. So and I also remembered her in the Jack Ryan show. She showed up in 2 episodes of that show, which sometime before I watched Emerald City, I had watched the entire thing of. I believe there were 4 seasons of a specifically Jack Ryan oriented show, which Jack Ryan is a character from Tom Clancy novels. So she showed up as an agent, a double agent of some sort, a name of Zoya in there. I remember her just a little bit. So other than that, did you want to bring us into the plot line then, Boris?
Actually, yes, but I'm afraid we might have to go by memory because the Wikipedia article only has a synopsis, but not the whole plot line as usual.
Yep, which is why I read it first.
Yeah. So, at the very beginning, from what I remember, we see the professor Samuel holding a lecture about literature, and they mention specifically Dante's Inferno. And
Which
there, yes.
which he specifically states a line from the exact passage of Inferno, and at the end of that, he basically asks why why Dante's Inferno is so prolific and so well remembered. Why is it important to literature?
Oh, yes.
And what was the answer that the one student had said?
Uh,
Because it talks about hell.
Yes. Yes, actually, fun fact. Many people nowadays wrongly believe that the concept of hell, especially hell and purgatory, that they are the way people imagine them, they think it's how they are described in the Bible, but the real truth is the concept originates from Dante's Inferno. Or Dante's Divine Comedy, not only Inferno.
Well, yeah, because if anyone doesn't know about Dante's Divine Comedy, it is a series of 3 intellectual proses. I call them proses because it's written in poetry form, but it is written almost as if in novel form. So it's kind of like a little bit of both. But the main character, which I do believe he says is himself, is literally he uses his own muses, which the I believe in purgatory. He starts in purgatory. He begins in purgatory. It moves to. Oh wait, does it start in paradise? Yeah, it starts in
Uh,
paradise, Paradiso.
Wait, Divine Comedy?
Yeah, the Divine Comedy, which is also known as the Divine Commedia.
Actually, I thought it started in hell.
No, it did not start in hell. It starts
Uh,
in. It started in paradise, he went through purgatory, and then he descended into hell.
Huh.
But he is guided by the poets that inspired him in real life. Okay, and I believe the first poet that he always referred to in the first part of the prose was Virgil, which was one of his inspired poets that he always referred to whenever he did his own poetry. You know, so this poet actually guided him through paradise, and these were his intellectual thoughts as he was guided through these areas through purgatory and then into hell itself.
Mm,
And the way he describes hell is a very descriptive way. As you go further, but that's about as much as I'm going to go into with the Dante stuff, because it really only touches on a little bit of it, and the lecture that he gives, he basically tells the students that by Monday he wants them to describe their own hell and describe their own sins and have it ready for him by Monday.
yeah, he should have also recommended them to watch the Lucifer TV show for inspiration.
Ah, or at least watch the old silent version of Le Inferno from the 1920s.
Huh.
There's a silent
Interesting.
there's a very cool silent film that I do believe you might be able to find it on YouTube. But I believe it's got music with Tangerine Dream music put behind it, and I do think that they actually came out with a new Blu-ray copy of it with new music, not too recently, of the Le Inferno. It's kind of a boutique thing right now, but in any case, going back to the plot of this, carry on.
Oh, yeah. So, as he's going home, he meets this woman. Was she one of his students, or was their thing separate from that?
Oh, there's this other professor that seems to be very good friends with him by the name of Susan. And she's always trying to get him to come over to dinner, but she's not the one that he has an affair, seems to be having an affair with.
Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah, she appears before Beatrice. Yeah, I forgot.
But you said that this young lady's name was Beatrice?
Yes, yes, it was obviously unintentional reference to Dante's Beatrice, and I found that kind of suspicious from the very beginning. It
Ah,
was kind of cool that it wasn't a coincidence in the end.
yeah, and I also found it a little curious that the professor's last name was Solomon. So,
Ah, oh yeah, and
as
first
in
name Sam.
King Solomon, who was in the Bible, and uh, there have been many movies based on King Solomon's mines.
Uh, yeah, and even his first name Samuel is also biblical.
Correct, because wasn't Samuel the name of one of God's angels?
Actually, no. Samuel was, I think, the prophet who anointed King Saul and then King David.
Okay. Which was around the King Solomon era, anyways. So Samuel Solomon. But in any case, moving forward.
Yes. So we find out he has an affair with this young woman. Once again, I forgot. Was she his student or was she unrelated to his work?
I feel like she was a student of his.
Oh,
I feel because he is definitely not. She is definitely not Susan, which Susan seems to be a fellow coworker of his.
no, of course. The woman he had an affair with was an entirely separate character
Yep,
who eventually turned out to have a much more serious role than we initially expected.
correct. Especially since okay, so after their nefarious little love affair that was going on, she got down to some serious questions like, "Do you love me?" and "Will you love me forever?" Kind of thing. Uh, which are
Ah,
very
yes.
serious questions that someone who is just having a fling or an affair is suggesting. You know.
Oh, yeah, that kind of reminds me of that nasty Japanese movie Audition.
Ah.
Did you
Oh,
watch that one?
what is it called?
Audition.
I have not.
Oh, that's good. Maybe you would regret watching it.
It's called Audition.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. Okay, technically it's not bad. It's well done, but it's really sickening. I watched it once and I'd rather not watch it again.
Ah, never even heard of it. But
Ah,
in any case, is it part of the guinea pig series?
uh, uh, uh not that I know of.
Okay, but in any case, so moving forward, so we have them having their affair, and then it appears that he realizes that they're out of cat food, and it seems like she's taking a shower or whatnot, but then he goes into the bathroom, realizes that his razor has been taken apart, and as he keeps asking her questions, he realizes she's not answering. So he quickly opens the bathroom curtain, and voila, she has actually uh killed herself in the bathtub. Tub. Of course, he tries to resuscitate her with to no avail, and then of course we see him have a wicked dream of someone being chased, and then in a house, and he sees this a woman as she's being chased. He sees her go inside this white circle, and then apparently um it goes to images of a child, images of the room, and he sees this woman apparently die, and
Oh,
he it also says that it's 1 year later. Take it from here.
yes, yes, that's right.
what happens next?
Next, it turns out there is a TV news report about a murder that recently happened, and it turns out the woman who got killed was the exact same one from his dream. Or as it turns out, he actually saw the murder in his dream before it happened.
Yep, and on TV they actually said that it was a ritualistic killing,
Yes.
which technically often has something to do with like cults and things of that nature. So, Tammy, what do you think about this at this moment? How do you feel about what's going on?
Well, it is kind of freaky that he's dreaming about that murder that happened, you know. So, I can see why he would want to figure it out and find out why he's dreaming about it and everything. So,
Yes. So, uh, from what I remember, he ends up going to the house where it happened.
Well, yeah. While it appears that he has um, also gone to his friend Susan and told her about how he saw this how he saw this murder before it happened, and she mentioned that there are people that actually have dreams that are prophetic.
Yes, and then when he gets there, he also meets another person who apparently had the same dream.
And we find out that this young woman goes by the name of Rachel,
Yes.
but um, and Rachel is the first one who connects that they are both there because they have seen things in their dreams.
Yeah, or at least it seems so at the beginning.
Well, she
She,
starts to remember things as she more as she goes along, you know.
yes. And she also has an interest in profession.
Well, we'll get to that. First, they both. Well, she actually says she has something to show him. So she takes him to the room in which that white circle had been drawn, or whatnot, which is the place in which he saw the one woman die within, and she said, uh, "Go back and remember. Isn't there something that's missing in this room?" And he goes back into his memory and realizes that behind the little girl that he saw there was a door, and and apparently it had been walled up with wallpaper. So they uncovered it, and once they did, it opened up a room where a ladder was, which the ladder led to an attic area type place. And the only thing that was in this attic area was an aquarium, which in this aquarium there was an egg shaped looking thing, which I was thinking back to Greek mythology about the great egg that a serpent actually wrapped around, and uh, uh, that's that wherein lied the great world, you know. So to me, um,
Oh,
I was thinking back to some Greek mythology that I had read about for a moment while I was watching that. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen with that egg, but apparently something that was written on it was was something from Dante's Inferno or something like that.
Yeah, but I forgot what exact quote it was.
I forget too, but they both said Dante Alighieri's words, and apparently that that thing moved and lined up with something to open it, and later we found out that she had actually taken whatever was inside, but we'll get to that. So continue with the plot line, young sir.
So, yeah, they retrieve that egg from the crime scene, and then Rachel keeps it, but Samuel gets attacked by women from the coven who want it back, and one of those bitches kills his poor cat.
Yeah, it appears to look exactly like a little child. This particular, which we find out is a muse later on.
Yes.
Apparently one of seven, even though in regular Greek mythology there are in fact nine. So
Yes.
now I wish I could go back and read off exactly what these what each of these muses were for. One was for one was to love, one was to invoke, one was to lie, so a great deceiver. um, I know that there were others. Eternity was another. Um, but that those are all those are the four that I can remember. Um, I'll have to go back and later figure out the different muses, because I thought that was kind of interesting what they said that they were for, you know.
Yes,
Because
that's
it was a little different than your common classic uh idea of the muses, you know.
yes. I kind of doubt they are described in the Greek mythology that way.
What did you think about that, Tammy? That they were described a little bit differently. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Tammy,
Every religion and folklore and everything, you know, they do think, they're not always exactly the same. It's how it was interpreted by that particular um, religion or um, uh, nationality or whatever you want to say. It's it's not always going to be exactly the same.
No.
So I'm because of that.
who?
You just got to look at it as this is their interpretation.
Well, yeah, and
Yes.
it appears that all of they find like a lot. They find out that there are victims of a group of people who found out about the muses, and every time that they found out about the muses, I guess they were tattooed with the words of Alighieri on their body, or the words of poets. I wasn't sure whether it was Dante's poetry or other poets on their body that they found that were deceased.
Yeah, actually, they were mentioning quite several other poets throughout the movie, like Milton, Blake, I don't know who else. Quite several were mentioned.
Okay, because John Milton actually was a poet who actually also did his own version of prose. He did Paradise Lost,
Yes,
which
yes.
was about the fall of Lucifer and what happened afterwards. So I think he was actually influenced by Allegory, to be honest. But
Quite possible. I read the simplified version of Paradise Lost a few years ago.
ah, and of course, I wonder if Gilgamesh would have been one of those. The epic poem of Gilgamesh.
Yes,
That
yes.
is one of the oldest poems around, and it was supposedly before the Bible.
Uh, Actually, yes, I think that's right.
So, but in any case, uh, moving forward because after they find out about all of these these victims, they find out that there was one survivor. In fact, uh, originally they didn't even know his name existed, but then he found out that about a boating accident that where supposedly the guy had been killed. Okay, but he tracked down a place where supposedly this person was living, and at first the when he knocked on the door, the one dude said that he was dead. But then he said, mention this to him about the white ring, and he went back inside, and he was like, "Come in," and that's when,
Yeah, that was a kind of funny moment. The guy said he died, and Samuel said something like, "I know, but tell him that whatever he said."
yeah. So it was a little chucklesome, but he then is led to where Christopher Lloyd's character is, and he basically this was kind of mildly interesting. He basically took a totally dead fish, totally dead, and brought it to a table where he played this tape of this woman speaking poetry of some sort in a different language of some sort,
Yeah.
and he those words reanimated the fish.
Yeah, and then instead of putting the poor fish in some aquarium or something, he just put it back into that foil.
So he basically was telling him that poetry is some poetry is so powerful, especially if it was worded a different way. Basically saying that the muses were these these creatures that could actually use words to their own will and way in ways that you could not possibly imagine. You know, um, and he said, you know, what was it he said? Tammy, do you remember the full thing of what he said?
No.
Okay. What about you, Boris? Do you remember what exactly he said that they did?
Uh, Actually, I'm not sure either. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, he was basically saying that they were very powerful full in the words that they could use against to inspire all of these poets into um these powerful acts of literature, but they could do more than that. It's almost like they were necromantics. You know, they could be so powerful, used in a certain way that they could control the dead. Even.
Yeah, maybe that movie script was written by someone who really hated having to read poetry back in school.
I hope not, because poetry is awesome.
Actually, I personally agree for most of it, but some people probably don't.
True that. But in any case, um, so did you want to bring us forward from that moment?
So after the moment with the fish, and oh yeah, what happened next?
Well, after the moment with the fish, he then had to try to track down where Rachel was, and she had actually given him a matchbook from the place that she worked at. And we do have to kind of remember Rachel and the fact that she works for a strip joint.
Oh yeah, we kind of skipped that part.
Well, we just didn't talk about it yet. That's all. Um, because all the while this stuff is going on that he's tracking down, there's stuff that's happening in Rachel's life as well. Where she is under the thumb of a very scrupulously abusive pimp, kind of.
Oh yeah, but now when I'm thinking of it, something doesn't make sense. Like later on, she showed she could kill someone just by reciting some poetry. So why didn't she get rid of the pimp the same way?
Because she didn't remember who she was.
Ah, ah. Oh yeah, I forgot that.
But she um she definitely had some really bad people in her life. In fact, apparently this pimp had told her that once she hit like $100,000 or whatnot, or pounds or whatever money that she supposedly owed the dude. Oh.
Yeah, like it was supposed to be 100 and she gathered that money, but then he suddenly decided to demand 150 instead of just 100.
Correct. So, um, and she didn't like that. No, sir. So she went in and grabbed her passports, apparently, um, and was working on trying to um, pack up and get out of Dodge. And at the same time, um, the guy that Christopher Lloyd played, I forget his name.
Uh, Professor, uh, let's see, Professor Bernard Rauschen.
Okay. So he was basically telling him if he didn't have what they wanted, then to run. I think
Yes.
so.
Uh,
But he remembered that he had the matchbook, and then he tracked down the place that she worked at, and at first he got the run around with the bouncers in the front of the building. So he went around back and followed one of the girl workers, and the girl worker then told him where she might live. And the other thing we haven't mentioned is that Rachel actually has a son.
yes, yes, she did have a son. I
And
for yes.
the son appears to be about maybe 10 years old, maybe 8. I
Oh,
don't know.
something like that.
And he seems like he's a pretty cute kid. And she basically tells her son that she's no longer going to be working there. In fact, that the next day was going to be her last day. And when Dew told her that she was going to be working for him for the rest of her life, basically, and he was very abusive to her there. And I guess he showed up at her apartment too, which to me is a big no-no. Even if you are working money off, you don't show up at my fucking place. That's invasive. And he's basically drowning her in her sink. And apparently she keeps having these flashbacks of the egg thingy, and evidently maybe that egg thingy is giving her the power to fight back. So she takes some type of utensil and stabs the dude in his neck, and stabs him in his stomach. And
Ah, yeah.
both
That.
myself and Tammy were like he fucking deserved that.
Hell yeah. That was badass.
Yes, he totally deserved that.
So, but when the professor Solomon comes to the door and finally knocks on it, she opens the door and she's like, "Help us." Um, and so I guess he takes her to a hotel room. Um, she supposedly gives him the thingy because he's been when they went and killed his cat, they basically told him, "Hey, bring this fucking thing. You took it. You give it to back to us. By this time, by tomorrow night, or we will kill you and whoever else we need to get to you." And that's another thing that other guy, a guy, Christopher Lloyd's character, told him is that they will kill anyone who is around you just to get to you. You know, uh, uh, uh,
Oh,
he because he said that every single person that he's loved has died. You know,
yeah. At the very beginning, I thought that those muses were unrelated to these pimps and stuff, but in the end, it turned out there was a connection after all.
yes, indeed. So, as it turns out, apparently, um, Rachel, as she finds out, as she starts to remember, Rachel is a muse. She finds out that she is eternity. And uh, and even the professor Solomon realizes that she's different than the other muses, and he tells her this, and she's like, "Yeah, I know," and that is why they hate me. They hate anything that is even close to humanity as possible, and the fact that I have the ability to love. is one of the things that they are jealous about. But one thing that supposedly the ladies, the ladies that they were in the Greek mythology, is that they are not allowed to um, they are not allowed to
Uh,
have children
yes, actually, yeah. I think
because
something.
they said something about that there are rules.
Yeah, I think something about muses not being allowed to have children with humans. Wasn't there also something about that in the movie Xanadu?
I think so. I think so. That might be another reason why you picked this movie because you like that one.
Actually, yeah, I definitely did like that one, but I wasn't thinking about it when I chose this one, but maybe on a subconscious level.
But yeah, they can't have children in that one either. I don't think. But she did. She had a child, and they killed her for it. But she eventually came back, and um, I guess there was another Muse, the one in which we find out later, evidently infused herself with Professor Solomon, which I guess his girlfriend was in fact a Muse.
Yes, yes, actually, I found that a pretty brilliant plot twist.
Yeah, that was definitely a different twist. What did you think about that twist, Tammy? Did you expect that he was in fact should I say a carrier of one of the muses?
No.
Did you find that surprising?
Yeah.
That was pretty good. And yeah, like I said, it explains why her name at the beginning, Beatrice, why it alludes to the character from Dante Alighieri's work.
Well, yeah, Beatrice was the other poet that guided him through. I believe it was through purgatory. Um, and then he didn't even have a guide into hell. Actually, I do think he did have a guide through hell, and I think it was someone else. Um, but it's been a while since I've read the work. Um, I know enough to get around it. I've read up until the end of Purgatory, believe it or not, of Dante Alighieri. It's a very complicated work to read through, but
I think so, yeah.
in any case, moving forward here, what exactly happens? Okay, so her son gets taken um
The muses.
taken by the muses. Why? Because she was deceiving of the professor. In fact, the professor had actually tried to have them not remember them if he had actually given them the correct thing. Apparently, she had given him only the shell of the thing, and not the whole thing. Which I forget exactly what they called that thing that
Im-
was inside.
Imago.
Imago.
Yes.
Okay, so she called it an imago, which apparently every single one of them have it, um, which makes them them, I guess. But um, originally they had sequestered it away from her, and I think um, I think that other muse that had been killed or whatnot had found hers, and that's why she ended up having to die. Um, which before she died, I think she tried to she basically when she put her soul into Solomon, it started a domino effect about both him and Rachel remembering who they were.
Uh, yes. Oh yeah, and it was said that that one muse that was hiding in him, she had to be killed, and then they would all die, which was apparently the desired solution to get rid of the bad ones, but that meant that Rachel had to die too.
Yep. So, um, so they end up going to um, this huge place, which I do believe that it was a loony bin of a kind. Um, I'm not sure if they labeled it the Belfast loony bin that Tammy mentioned before, but
Uh, I
I'm
think
pretty
it
sure
was.
that's the one because it said it was. I got. I looked at it quick, and it did start with a B, and it said
Uh,
lunatic asylum. And when I looked up things, I found a structure that looked just like the one in the movie, and it said it was called the Belfast
okay.
Lunatic Asylum.
why do I think they used some other name rather than Belfast? But I'll try to find it. Uh,
Maybe they used some other name, but that sure was the structure.
Okay.
in the movie, it was Bar Train Lunatic Asylum.
Okay. But that's where they ended up at, and I guess she chose a room, and I guess the muses arrived, and they arrived with the son in tow. One of them actually stuck a knife to the kid's throat. They threatened to kill the kid, but and at the end of the day, the professor Solomon had to slit um the throat of Beatrice in order to um kill the rest of them, and um unfortunately, um in slitting that woman's that Beatrice's throat, he also killed off Rachel as well. Unfortunately, doing that, and then we get the narrative of um, Solomon Samuel um, saying that one day we will find her, and yada yada yada. That this did happen, we will remember her, and
But he knew when he did that, he knew and Rachel knew that if he did that, that Rachel would die.
correct.
So
And also, Susan, his friend, she didn't stop looking into the darn thing. So because she didn't stop, I think the muses caught on that she was looking for the truth behind them, and unfortunately, she just kind of got in the way. And apparently, they tattooed her body too with these poetry words and so she became another victim. Unfortunately,
Yes, it was some poetry line that forced her to start devouring her own body. And
correct.
as Samuel and Rachel tried to stop her from doing that by tying her up, But
It's
then,
it's it's almost like they were mixing the seven deadly sins with with these seven muses, you know.
ah, interesting. I
Because
wasn't thinking.
don't you think the devouring thing is kind of like gluttony?
Ah, well, yeah, I wasn't thinking of it that way.
Well, I wasn't either until I thought about it because you know seven is one of the heavenly numbers in the Bible. You know, you got seven parables. You've got the seven-headed dragon. You got the in
Mm,
Revelations. You
oh
you,
yeah,
you got the seven parable of talents. You've got
seven
the
days.
seven times that they trumpet around the city um what was it, Jericho? Joshua in the
Uh,
Battle of
oh
Jericho.
yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
I mean
Seven,
the
yes.
um the seven levels of the Tower of Babel. Um,
Oh, the 7 days of creation.
Correct, because on the seventh
Oh,
day God rested. So to
Ye-
me, the number seven is like a biblical number. So
oh, pretty much, yeah.
so is
Uh,
so is 40 because you got 40 days and 40 nights,
oh,
or
the great flood, yeah.
or the number three, like 3 days in the in Jonah and the whale, 3 days till Jesus was resurrected. Um, Things of that
Huh.
nature. So to me, there are biblical numbers. You don't think of it until you actually think about it, you know.
Right.
But
Um,
I don't know why I remembered the some of these, but there were definitely numbers that were prolific in the Bible. But in any case, the only reason why I mentioned that is because of the seven muses and the seven deadly sins, and it seems like one of them ended up devouring or having to help with Susan's character, but what happened to her was tragic because um, the muse who lies came and took care of her.
yeah, she stole Rachel's identity, and it was left up to our imagination what she actually did to Susan's body.
Correct, because she said I wouldn't go up there if I were you, and he went up there and looked, but we didn't see what he saw.
Yeah.
But I believe that we are at the end of everything. Did anyone have anything to add to anything that we discussed or talked about? Did we miss anything?
Oh, well, not much comes to my mind.
Okay. What about you, Tammy? Do you think we missed anything?
No, not at this time.
Okay. So, let's go into production. Tammy, what
Oh,
did you
yeah.
think about production?
I thought it was decent. I mean, it was different, different story, and you know, how it's done and everything. And I thought the the effects that were in it were pretty good, and along with the costumes and everything. So, I mean, it was definitely, definitely kept you interested in everything. So, I
And
think
I think you definitely liked some of the locations.
yeah, and it like I said, it kept you interested. So, they
It's
they
not
would,
often that you go and look up what kind of building something is.
but
Interesting.
so yeah, I thought they did a good job.
Okay. What about you, Boris? What did you
Oh,
think about production?
I actually liked the production quite a bit. The whole gothic aesthetics throughout the whole movie. I loved the black veils, of course. And also some effects like the killings and the blood in the bathtub at the very beginning. That was very cool. Actually, one thing I found really interesting that I wanted to mention at the very beginning, okay, not quite at the beginning, but when Beatrice was about to die the first time, when she went into the bathroom and Samuel was in the kitchen, I was instantly reminded of the scene from The Seekers, if you remember, near the end when Chris and Kate got separated in a similar way. Chris was in the kitchen and Kate was in the bathroom, and Total Evil came and killed Kate. And when Chris came to the bathroom, he found Kate in a bathtub full of blood. And when I was watching this movie, when they got separated, and since I had read the synopsis on IMDb, I knew Beatrice was probably going to die. So when they got separated, Samuel in the kitchen and she in the bathroom, I was immediately reminded of The Seekers, and then holy shit, he actually also found her in a bathtub full of blood. I couldn't believe.
Okay.
So yeah, I found that a pretty mind-blowing coincidence.
Well, you
But
seem to like anything that reminds you of the Seekers.
how could you possibly tell?
Oh, because that's your favorite independent film ever.
True.
I mean, Felicia Pandolfi is your dream girl.
Oh yeah, we could say why Muse.
But in any case,
Or more like her character in that movie. She is why Muse.
what did you think about the music? Was there music involved? Did you want to look up who actually composed the music?
Oh, I could. Yeah, give me a moment. Somehow I didn't notice much of it, but let's see what it says. Views, IMDb. Let's see. Cast. Oh, music. Where are you? Ah, composer Steven Reddix.
Okay, and what kind of
Mm.
movies did he compose behind before?
Who? Let's see. Known for Frank from 2014, Room from 2015, not Tommy Wiseau's The Room, another movie of a very similar title. Uh, The Quiet Girl from 2022. Good Luck to You, Leo Grande, 2022. Oh, what else? Composer. Wait, what the hell? Wait, I'm sorry, I messed something up.
Let's see if I can look. Producers, composer, Stephen Rennicks.
Composer.
Rennicks
Uh,
spelled like Rennicks.
yes.
Okay, so he was the composer behind Room, which I remember getting that having some like Oscar type stuff. Let's see. Looking backwards, seeing where he started. Invisible. Yeah, definitely a lot of short films. see. Okay. Going backwards. Okay, let's go all the way to the beginning. Okay, so Blind Alley, Adam and Paul, Man About. Okay, so where I might have actually gotten into to him, he was a composer for a movie called Boy Eats Girl, which I know I've got in a film collection. Somewhere, but let's see. Going forward, okay, so that's the only one that I know him. Well, not know him, but I know the name of that. I just haven't watched it. Boy Eats Girl. But he composed behind that was a film from 2005. But Room, I do know that name, and I think that's the one where the woman was a mother and child, and they ended up being trapped in this one room together for like ever,
Oh
and then
yes.
they escaped somehow
Uh,
and had to
yeah.
deal with the real, and then the child had to deal with the real world.
Indeed, I actually saw. I think I didn't watch it from the beginning, but I came across it while it was on TV at some point, and I watched the rest of it. It was an interesting one.
Yep. So I don't really know any other movies that he's been part of, but it looks like he was and has been part of a few movies. I just don't know them. And looks like there's an upcoming one. Leah and Roe. Whitetail is another one this year that he's been part of. But in any case, moving on to favorite scenes and or favorite characters. So let's start with you, Tammy. Favorite scene or scenes and or favorite character.
Um, I guess Sam is my favorite character because
Sam.
yeah,
Okay.
because well, he's like the focal point of the whole thing, even though he doesn't realize it at first. You
Yeah.
know, um, favorite scene. Mm. Let's see. I'm not really sure.
You're not really sure? Was there a good scene?
Well, there's a few good ones. I mean, it's just
It's hard to pick one.
yeah.
Well, why don't you pick like two of them that you like specifically?
Mm, fair enough.
Um. Well, I like the I like when Rachel's had it off and she takes that dude out
Oh,
because it was just you could kind of see something building, and
Yeah.
and then she just goes to town on his butt. And it's like yeah.
oh yeah.
So that one I liked, and then um I the ending, because if this was all building up too, that was another one. It kind of like built up to this ending.
Yeah.
So
Okay. What about you, Boris? Favorite character or characters and their favorite scenes.
Well, favorite character kind of difficult to choose between Samuel and Rachel because they were both really good characters actually. And favorite scene, well, I do have to agree with Tammy that the moment Rachel killed that pimp asshole was really good. But yeah, I think my favorite scene would be the final battle, the whole part with Beatrice coming out and trying to manipulate Samuel into accepting her back instead of killing her. That was pretty powerful. And I did like to see those muses with their black veils. uh, so yeah, I think I would have to go with that one.
Okay. And I'm just realizing that I recognized Susan as well. She she played the um I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Run Lola Run.
Run Lola Run isn't a German movie.
Yeah, from 1998. She played Lola.
Seriously?
Yep.
Uh,
And then in the Born Identity series, she played Marie, which was the love
oh,
interest of Matt Damon's character in the Born Identity and the Born Supremacy.
huh.
Lately she's played in the Mayfair Witches. Um, she's definitely a voice actor or actress. She played in a movie from 2019, which now I want to see that one, called The Haunted Swordsman.
Huh.
Let's see. She played in The Conjuring 2. She played in the last season of American Horror Story.
Cool.
Let's see, looking backwards. Uh, okay, she played in a horror movie called Creep, which I think I might have seen. She played in Anatomy 2. She played in the movie Blow. And she played in Anatomy, the first one. Looking backwards. Okay, so yeah. She definitely surprised me being the Chicken Run Lola Run back in like
Uh,
1998.
Actually, yeah, believe me or not, we had to watch that movie in a German class when I was in high school. And
Oh, really?
yes, and I actually found that movie pretty confusing, and I don't remember exactly what the point was of that movie. I just remember there was something like there was the woman and the man, and then she was running, and then she got killed, but then somehow it started over, and he got killed instead of her, and then it started over once again, and at the end they both stayed alive, and I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. Okay, so this is what IMDb says about that one. After a botched money delivery, Lola has 20 minutes to come up with 100,000 Deutschmarks. So don't know. I know that I have the movie. I all I remember is that she had like really fucking like red ass hair, and
Yes, yes.
that she had to run around a lot.
She did, yeah.
But in any case, that just kind of like, oh my god, that was her. So, but did you finish your?
Uh, Actually, yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
then I guess I'll go with okay, so my favorite character, yeah, I think it'll have to be um I think it'll have to be definitely be Sam. Um Even though I do like Rachel, um I definitely do like Sam as a character. Um I do like that moment, a moment where Rachel does kill her pimp, like dude. That was great. That moment was just like kind of like a yes moment, you know. Um, because he had it coming. He definitely had it coming. And then I think when Susan was actually describing the different muses, I think I like that moment of revelation too. I have to go back and like rewatch that part because I want to get what all the muses are according to what she found, you know.
yes.
Because I think that that will be cool to figure out because she said all seven of them, but she said them so quickly. I was like, well, wait a minute. I wanted to know what that one was, you know. So, but we had a time constraint because of how long it took me to deload the movie and all that jazz from you. So, uh, but in any case, I enjoyed the movie. That's my thoughts on it, and just kind of like a holy shit moment that she was from that movie kind of moment when I was looking up what's her name. So I guess I didn't really look up every single person that was in here and go like, oh, they were from that movie, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm sure I probably recognized the dude that actually played Samuel too. But I didn't want to do that whole thing. I suppose I could do that really fucking quickly here. Okay.
Okay.
He was played by Elliot Cowan. And let's see. He was known for such movies as Alexander, Lost in Austin, oh, and The Golden Compass. He was a commanding officer in the Golden Compass. Lost in Austin was a mini series. He was Mr. Darcy, but Alexander, he was Ptolemy in the movie Alexander. Let's
Oh.
see. He was in The Conjuring Last Rites, which is a recent movie. Uh, so he is an active actor. Let's see. He was in a TV. Let's see. Okay, so he is a voice actor as well. He's been in video games such as Bravely Default 2, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. He voiced Billy and a couple of other things. Let's see. He was in 10 episodes of the TV series Krypton, which had to do with Superman. He
Oh,
was
yes.
in a video game with Warhammer called Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 3. He was in Doctor Who The Early Adventures, which was, or part of that, which was a podcast series. Oh, Remember that series that we started called Beowulf: Return to the Shieldlands, babe?
Uh,
He
No.
was. Well, I have a TV series that we started to watch, and I guess he was in 13 episodes of that. Da Vinci's Demons. He was. We started watching that. Oh wait, no, we did not, or did we? Trying to remember. He was in a movie called Howl, Necropolis, uh, Hammer of the Gods, Star Wars: The Old Republic video game, GoldenEye 007 video game, Dragon Age Origins. I have that game. I just haven't played it. But yeah, he was a commanding officer in the Golden Compass movie. He was in a movie called The Mark of Cain. So he's done some stuff with Marple and Poirot. So Agatha Christie stuff. Okay. So, but yeah, he was in some things I didn't know. And he was in 6 episodes of a series called The Frankenstein Chronicles, which I wonder if I can actually hunt that down and see if I guess Prime Video has those 2 seasons of that. But in any case, did anyone else have anything else to add? Sorry, I was having fun looking them up. Oh, okay. Then I guess hopefully you, ladies and gentlemen, have enjoyed our discussion. Like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully we'll see you next week. I do believe that you are next, my dear. Are we going to be doing Cruel Jaws or not?
Might as well.
Okay. I know Cruel Jaws is on Tubi, and that should be easy to watch for us. It is the unofficial Jaws 5, only because it steals scenery from some of the Jaws movies in order, a kind of Ed Wood style, to suit its purposes. So, but in any case, that is what I've heard. But like, share, and subscribe. Let us know down in the comments what you thought of the movie, what you thought of our discussion, and we'll see you next week here on Delusions of Grandeur. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed everything. I sure have. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
See you
Everyone
next
say
week.
good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Inside movies galore, just makes you just want more. We've had all in the world of media to explore. Horror, anime, or Curious George. Our love of new things was our reward. It is the best night of our week.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.